New Year. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Okay, welcome to episode number 3 of Start Raving Sober. We're going to talk about New Year's Eve. Yeah, sober New Year's Eve. Oh my God, sober New Year's Eve, sober New Year's Eve. What's that all about? So yeah, without further ado, okay, so, yeah. I thought I'd take off the headdress. So maybe you guys can take me seriously. Because I'm so serious with my red hair. Anyway, hi. Oh my goodness. If this is your first New Year's Eve sober, congratulations! Oh, and also, I did my whole first video. This is only my 3rd video. My whole first video, I'm going to try to figure out how to do that clicky link eye thing. But if not, I'll put a link in the description. Is all about, it gives 9 tips of how not to drink at a party. So if you're going to a drinky party and you're trying not to drink tonight, give that a watch. Woo! And if you dig this stuff too, subscribe, please. That would be rad. And so yeah, where to start? New Year's Eve was a big drunk fest until about when I got alcohol poisoning. I think that's when New Year's Eve became a little less intense. Yeah, my senior year of high school, I got alcohol poisoning on New Year's Eve because it was an open bar, and I had never been to an open bar, and it was $35 and it was all you could drink. And so I decided to have 2 of each because that makes perfect sense, right? So I had 2 of each. Like I had 2 champagnes, I had 2 glasses of wine, I had 2 whiskey sours, I had 2 Jack and Cokes. I had, you get 2 margaritas, and I kept going. This was long before I knew I didn't. This is when I learned not to mix different alcohols. Yeah, so that really sucked, and I was so sick. And after that, it became more of like, I remember like me and my partying friends used to be like, oh yeah, New Year's Eve is totally amateur night. Yeah, it's amateur night. Because we thought we were so cool. So we usually just like did a house party and, didn't go out on the roads and this and that. So cut to November 15th, 1997. I had my last drink. I was 24 years old. I just totally gave away how old I am. Don't worry, I'm super immature. And if I could have picked a worse time to get sober, like seriously, November 15th, then immediately there's Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then New Year's Eve. It's like, really? I mean, I have a picture of me on Christmas, just wow, I'm sober. Cause my whole family parties, that's what we do at Christmas. We all get drunk together, and they still got drunk cause I was sober. And it was really challenging. So I remember New Year's Eve, I actually went to a sober party, and I thought that was so lame. It was like a 12-step program party at Lawler Event Center. I was living in Reno, Nevada. Yeah, that's a reason to drink. That's a whole other story. Probably why I do stand-up too. But I wore the tightest red dress you could ever find, and all the boys flirted with me, and I had a fabulous time dancing, and everybody was sober. And I think for me, I guess there's a lot to be said about intuition. If you're in a program, people will give you a bazillion suggestions. And, all I'm going to share is my experience. And what works for me doesn't necessarily work for somebody else. A program doesn't work for everybody. I totally get that. There's a million ways to get sober. So, but for me, that's what I needed. I needed to be with other sober people on New Year's Eve to know that other people were actually sober on New Year's Eve. But this time of year then becomes more about reflection. Last year had some major challenges and some major triumphs. I wrote my first book proposal. I have a graphic novel that is going to be pitched in 2 weeks. to a big publisher. And you know, I mean, who knows? I've had a lot of close calls, but we'll see. Last year, I lost my dog of 13 and a half years, and it broke my heart. Last year, I had 7 psychotic episodes, and my son had to go away for 2 weeks and be taken care of by my family so I could stabilize again. And I ended up finding out that that was actually because of my thyroid. Last year, yeah, I got sick in March, and it was just a stomach flu, and I had to stop taking my lithium, and my thyroid went insane and went hyper, and it caused so much wreckage on my body and my well-being. And I'm still recovering. Like, my hands are super swollen still, but, and I'll talk about thyroid later. That's a whole other deal. But my son started first grade. Like, he graduated from kindergarten. He started first grade. He's at a great school. So I think it's, you know, it's a time to look at, like, you know, I call it the seemingly bad. I miss my dog. I miss her so much. Machu Picchu, Boston Terrier. Oh, she's chasing tennis balls in the sky. I miss her every day. She was my, I mean, I always joke, like seriously, like, I hired a surrogate. Like, she was my daughter. I don't know if I can ever have a dog again. And I got a cat. I have a cat now, a Bagel. He's rad. He's blind in one eye, and he's a rescue. I just did the slap thing again. And he's a rescue, and he's cool. He's a cool cat. Literally, he's a cool cat. Seriously. So anyway, I don't know. I guess what I would say is find out if you can get as quiet as you can, and find out what you're comfortable with for New Year's Eve, where you're at, you know, like, everybody's different and every day is different. There's days where I want to go party. Like, I'm ready to party tonight, right? And there's other days where I do not want to leave the fucking house. And there are days that I don't. And there are days that I'm in bed. And, you know, I just do my best on any given day. So sober New Year's Eve, you know, eventually for me just became more about reflection and hope. And I think that's what I want to close with, is what has brought me through everything I've been through thus far. And I'm sure the shitstorms will continue because it's life. But surviving child abuse, surviving alcoholism and drug addiction, surviving mental illness, 3 hospitalizations, surviving postpartum depression, surviving all these things. I think the fight, I think I was born a fighter, but I think the fight comes from hope. The spark is hope. If there's just a spark of hope, and that's how I got sober. There was just a spark of hope, and that's all I needed, and I clung onto it. I was just talking with a girlfriend last night who's going through one of the most horrific things ever in her life, and she was talking about, like, how a toddler, when they're learning how to walk, just kind of cling, you know, like goes to the couch and then to the other couch and to the chair and to, you know, and they just like hold on to the next thing. And that's really what I feel like hope is, you know. It's just like hold on to the next little piece of hope and the next little piece of hope, you know. And I have hope that 2019 is going to kick serious ass, you know. I'm also realistic that there'll probably be some bullshit. I love you guys. Stay rad, and I will post soon. And good luck staying sober on New Year's Eve. If that is your goal, good luck, and I'm behind you. Send me stuff in the comments section. I will write right back. Okay? Okay. We can do this. Bye!